Hi everyone, welcome back to the Nature Talks podcast. Today we are here with our friend Naman. How are you, Naman?
All good,
Good.
how are you?
Good. Naman is here and he's been doing some good work which we want everybody to get to know. We found your work online. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us something about your work.
Right, first of all, thank you, Viren, for having me here and talking to us about our work. My name is Naman Gupta and I come from Noida City.
Okay.
And we are focusing on recycling cigarette butts and making sustainable merchandise out of the recycled materials.
Yeah. Your organization is called Code Effort.
Right.
And how long back did you start this?
So, Code Effort, we started in the year 2018. This September 2024 will turn 6.
Okay.
So, it's a 6-year journey of recycling cigarette butts, and Code Effort basically stands for a collective effort to conserve our depleting environment.
Collective effort for
So,
conserving
Code
biodiversity.
has a full form which
Okay.
is to conserve our depleting environment, and it's
Yeah.
not just my individual effort because you already know you are in this environment space and sustainability space.
Yeah.
So, it can be a phase of the initiative, but it's a collective effort and
Yeah.
it involves a lot of people, a lot of community building, and a continuous and a consistent effort to make something happen and bring about a change in the environment and sustainability space.
Like you're saying, many people are involved, and you're collecting the cigarette butts and making new things out of it. So, can you give us some example of like where do you collect all these cigarette butts from? In India, it's spread out everywhere. Abroad, it's still in the ashtrays or in the cigarette stubbing thing.
Bins, right?
So, where do you find it?
In India, it's not just about the waste, but about the raw material itself and the commodity that we are dealing. That's cigarettes. So in India, cigarette and smoking is a very sensitive topic, which nobody wants to talk about openly. So
But you
to-
see, all the celebrities in the movies are promoting it. I mean, they're smoking all the time, and the children who are big fans of these celebrities, they want to be like them, and they start smoking like them.
So, if you talk about these movies and celebrity smoking, you'll also see a very small in the fine print that smoking is injurious to health. But hardly people notice it and
Yeah.
read about it or even notice it. So,
It's too small.
too small to notice, and the same small fine print and the problem of cigarette butts is also with the size of the raw material, because that is very small, so people tend to ignore or leave it unnoticed. So that's the main problem, but it's not just about the waste, but it is also about the policies, the regulations that India doesn't have. Outside India, you rightly said there are bins, but in India you won't find a bin to dispose
Yeah.
cigarette butts into a normal into an ashtray or an ash bin.
And even the birds might eat it and choke and die because of that.
That's a very common problem. It's if you talk about the environmental aspect, one cigarette butt can contaminate minimum 25 liters of water and can go up to 500 liters of water, and it not just it harms the water, but also it absorbs, because cigarette filters are used to absorb a lot of effluents. So as per researches and as per our experience, we have found that more than 7,000 chemicals get trapped, which if leached into the environment can also degrade the groundwater table and the soil and even definitely the marine species.
What oil is actually there in the cigarette butt? What
So,
materials?
cigarette butt has 3 components. One is the tobacco, but very less because people generally consume the entire cigarette. But there are a few strands of the leftover tobacco. The other is the paper, which is over the filter, which is also somewhat biodegradable. And the third and the major problem with cigarette butts is the filter. The
Cotton.
It looks like cotton. Even the smokers don't know that it is not cotton. It is scientifically called cellulose acetate, which is a form of plastic because it is chemically processed. So that if it was cotton, just as a layman I'm talking, if it was cotton and if it's coming in contact with fire, it will instantly burn. But it doesn't burn because it is
Plastic.
chemically processed, and it will melt or shrink just like a normal plastic because it has those plastic components inside the filters.
So what all kind of products do you make with that?
So first I'll explain you how we collect it because that's the main challenge that we faced initially, because without collection the products cannot be made. So for collection we mobilize rack pickers. We target offices and commercial spaces where they have a specific designated smoking zone. So for rack pickers we incentivize them so that by their effort and through their support they also get something in return, so that their motivation is available for them to collect and supply as the materials. So far we started in 2018 from Noida, Delhi, Gurgaon. Right now we have a network of more than 2500 plus rack pickers who are collecting the cigarette butts daily across 250 districts in India.
And then they are paid by the amount of weight of cigarette butts.
Amount of weight. For example, if it's a kilo, so we have a specific rate. If it's more than 10 kgs, 20 kg, depends. It's like a slab for...
What is the rate?
General market rate falls between 200 rupees to 400 rupees per kg. So
we can tell the college students to collect it from the college and send it, make some pocket money.
For college students, we would ask them to help us in reducing the amount of consumption, because the cigarette waste management and recycling is end of the pipeline solution. But if we solve the first step, that is if people stop smoking, so then there's no need to recycle.
So what's the best way to make someone stop smoking? Because people, the teachers, the parents, everyone says don't smoke, and as soon as you say don't do this, they'll do that.
Because there's this taboo in the people's mindset, and there's it's for everything, and till the time we don't talk about it openly, just like menstruation and the sanitary pads, till the time movie didn't came, people were very reluctant. Just like toilet movie came, before that the open defecation was a very common practice, but now it has reduced. So similarly in case of cigarettes also, till the time you don't openly discuss the problem, the solution will not openly get visible in front of the eyes of the people. So similarly in case of cigarettes, if you think that cigarette is legal, because it is, okay, so if it's a legal commodity, then you need to accept the fact that it is harmful, but people are consuming cigarettes, and in India we are home for more than 26 million smokers. So that's a huge number.
And all that tax money is also used for some government projects or something.
I won't say much about how the utilization is happening regarding tax.
That's the reason why these unhealthy things are made legal, so that when people get addicted, then that money can get filtered to make our roads or whatever.
So I'll give you a very small example. In India, ITC Limited is the biggest manufacturer of cigarettes. They might be having different businesses like Paper and Sunfeast and all these other brands, but who's the major stakeholder in ITC? It's the government. And the second largest stakeholder in ITC Limited is LIC, which recently got privatized. So on the first hand, they are making cigarettes, a product which is harmful for the public, and on the second hand they are selling insurance policies where it is written as a small asterisk that if you are a smoker, then your insurance premium might be higher and you might not get the required maturity amount. So it's a vicious circle which is very difficult to break till the time there's no mass movement or some proactive collaboration happening amongst the people and the government.
Even I think celebrities also can make a difference if they start influencing their fans in a different way, instead of saying go and buy this mattress, buy that insurance, drink Pepsi or whatever, some cool drink. So they should be focusing on healthier lifestyles, like eat your vegetables.
Bang on, it's completely accurate, because if you start promoting sustainable products, not just our product, we are making various products like toys, textiles, paper, but there are various other brands and various other small scale MSMEs who are using sustainable materials and also trying to convert waste to value. So if companies and celebrities and those people who are influential enough to make the consumer buy or switch to recycled merchandise, then definitely we will see a cleaner and a greener environment very soon. Plus, I will also add one thing here in terms of the buying influencing power. The government consumes n number of products for their daily use. So if government also starts promoting sustainable products, and they start incorporating recycled materials or sustainable materials in their regular use, so for a small scale industry, the business will also grow. And if it's coming from the government, so the common public mindset will change very quick.
Okay. So now we know like how you're collecting it through the rack, but now what all products do you make and how do you make it? Is it because of the plastic kind of effect of the birds that makes it malleable? You can change its shape and everything. What is it? Can you tell us?
So the main core USP I can say for Code Effort is the recycling technology that we have built. So this technology was built by us in India. Everything is in-house, automated process that we are following, and through our technology we are ensuring that all the components, tobacco, paper and the filter, all three of them are getting recycled, and the process that we are following is a completely closed loop process. So through our recycling technology, there's no further waste that is getting generated which is harmful or might cause other waste problems for the ecosystem. So this is our technology. We are based in Noida sector 134, where we have the entire facility of recycling cigarette butts. And after recycling, 6 years back when we started using the fibers as a stuffing, because at that time we were at a very nascent stage and we didn't have much knowledge or the network to make commercially viable products. So at that time we were just using the fibers as an alternate for normal cushioning.
Okay.
And we were making toys, cushions and keychains where the fiber was getting used as a stuffing material.
Okay. But did
After
it have
that-
a smell to it?
The technology that we are using is helpful to remove all the toxins, all the effluents that the cigarette filter traps, and also remove all the smells, and the color also comes close to the whitest, like the normal virgin material. So the technology is completely safe to use, well certified. All the lab tests are done regularly. We have 4 certifications to ensure that it matches to the international standards of the quality and the processes that we are following. So we have spent a lot of time, like before starting Code Effort, we have spent almost 6 to 8 months to make our technology and make our system so accurate that the problems are negligible. But definitely if there's some problem, as an entrepreneur, it's our duty to take it as an opportunity and bring out the solution more and more efficient for the public.
Do you have you brought some products to show us?
For products, I have my card, which is also one of the products that we have. So this paper that you see, this is made from the cigarette butt fiber. So right now the paper quality that we are achieving is as good as the normal paper. And also because we are in this industry since more than 5 years now, so we have been able to optimize the costs as well. Because if you want to deal in India, so India is a very price sensitive market.
Tear a little bit to see the quality.
So you can tear it.
Hey.
If you touch and feel, it will feel like a fiber. So it will not feel like a paper because this is fiber. So this is coming from the cotton type material that is inside. So paper is one of the most highest selling product for us because the government also has laid out a lot of regulations and strategies to reduce the paper which is coming from cutting down of trees and start using recycled paper so that we can reuse the same waste paper which is coming from newspapers or some other waste material, because 99% of the paper is coming from trees. So that way there's no dependency on the trees eventually, and we can use the same material.
You've done so much research over these years, so what do you think is the reason why people start smoking?
It's their own personal choice. So
some people do it to look cool or to follow their celebrity in the movie or something.
So we actually
peer
pressure is there. Stress levels right now in our business as well. I'll give you an example. We started pre-COVID, like we started in 2018. So but during COVID we thought that the consumption would reduce, but it actually grew because of the stress, and people had so much time because they were working from home. Okay, so if they are working from home and if the person or the employer, whoever is the smoker, has much more time to consume more cigarettes because he is sitting in front of his screen. If the camera is off, he can still smoke and work. So it makes things easier for them. As a smoker,
what's an alternate then?
The alternate is to switch to materials which can reduce the curb or the urge that you have as a smoker. I come from a non-smoking background, so I cannot tell you much, but definitely if you want to quit, then if you actually want to quit, then it should come from the within of your heart and within you. You cannot quit just because you are thinking that I might quit or not. If you believe that you can quit, then it will happen, but definitely it takes a certain amount of time to finally quit and switch to healthy and hygienic remedies and activities.
Yeah, like I read somewhere it's just a habit of the hand to mouth movement of like taking a cigarette, but if you exchange it with some dry fruit or something, or chewing gum, or I don't know, chewing gum is not a good idea, but if it was dry fruit, peanuts, walnuts, almonds, if you carry that in the pocket, keep eating that, it'll take over that urge.
That the hand movement and the itching that happens in the throat, these are very common things, but the mindset also plays a vital role, because
people
if
use
you
this to socialize,
there are various instances where you might open up to your senior or your colleague if you are a smoker, and if you meet him at the him or her at the smoking zone. So there that bonding increases because you are able to exchange more ideas openly and casually to your peers and colleagues. But it's all about the mindset. So, if you don't want to smoke, even if a person is smoking in front of you, but if it's not within your mind, then you won't pick up a cigarette. But similarly, if you are a smoker and if you don't want to quit, then even if I tell you various items, various remedies, various herbal cigarettes are coming up in the market, various options are there. There are rehabs who help you quit. But if you have not made up your mind, then nothing can help you in quitting smoking.
So people can find your page on Instagram, and you have a website also.
Everywhere we are very active on all the online platforms. We have our website codeefforts.com. On social media, Code Effort. If you type Code Effort, you'll find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. And even if you search on Google, if you type cigarette butts recycling in India, luckily the amount of effort that we as a team has put in, we are very easily traceable, and you'll find us everywhere.
And what is your future plans with this Code Effort?
In terms of future plan, I must say that we have faced a lot of challenges in terms of awareness initially, but now within these 5 years, 6 years journey, we can say that a little bit of awareness has actually come, and it's not just amongst the public, but it is reflected in the government policies as well. I'll give you a small example. In 2018, when we started, there was no policy of appropriate disposal of cigarettes and BD waste in India. Outside India, there was proper laws. In 2022 November, almost 1.5 years back only, now Central Pollution Control Board, the main apex body for pollution control, has given out a notification to cigarette manufacturing companies, commercial spaces, and even individual smokers that you need to dispose your cigarette butts appropriately instead of throwing it on the roadside. So the change is happening, and in the coming time, by 2030, we hope, and we are making our business, and we are building our strategies and implementing our strategies in such a way that the recycled material and the recycled products come into picture at a very high scale and take over the market from the conventional products, so that it also helps in building a circular economy model where the trash, the waste can be used to build either some other product and enter the same pipeline and build a circular model. As well as also we are building leaders who can actually advocate and build up systems not just for cigarettes but for other waste items, so that the entire ecosystem and the environment can be safe and we can leave a cleaner environment for the future generations to come.
Yeah. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, a lot of people will be following you after listening to this conversation. Also, they're getting to know all the details. Do you have a last message for the viewers? We're kind of short on time now.
So on a lighter note, if you are a smoker, then it's better to quit. But if you are unable to quit, then definitely dispose your cigarette butts wisely, and we are here to recycle your cigarette butts. Also, take action, because we and Verhaen and all these communities who are building and trying to create awareness regarding sustainability, we are doing our bit. We just want your help. So if you are collaborative and if you are seeing the effort that goes behind in making a change, then be a part of us and build a community which is sustainable and eco-friendly. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on our show, and it was great having you here.
Thank you.
We have a small gift also to give you for
you.
coming for our program. And you can find our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and there are a few other podcast channels which keep changing. Like, we had Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Some of these platforms have shut down over the years, but it's available.
Why?
So they didn't do very well, maybe.
Okay.
But it's available on many platforms. If you just search for Nature Talks Podcast, you'll find it online easily. Thank you, guys.
Definitely please support us and Verhaen in his journey, because we need people like Verhaen and his team, so that if we are unable to voice our efforts, but he helps us in voicing our efforts and bringing about a change, so that more and more people can join and contribute rather than just appreciate the good work that his team and he is doing since a long time.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.